Here with the Charter Oak coach Lou Farrar, long-time legendary coach Lou Farrar. Coach, the way I want to start this, first of all, is last Friday's game. Had you ever, I know you've been through some great ones in your time here, but to come from behind on the road like that, what were the emotions like for you at your age to go through something like that?
Well, let's start at the end of the game when I brought our team together and took a knee and we started talking. I says, if you ever do that again, I'll have a heart attack and be dead. The guys in my age group don't need to go through that. But honestly, 27 years this coaching staff's been together, and I can't remember our staff and our program fighting and just hanging in there together. Every fiber that we have in our football family, I think, was tested. 2 minutes gone, and well, two plays gone, and we had given up a touchdown that was 101 yards because the guy was in the end zone, and the video shows it. But anyway, it was amazing to be 14-0, and the next thing you know, they run a couple plays and just 21-0 into the first quarter, and you can see in the kids' eyes what's going to happen here. And we just told them it's one play at a time. Let's go one series at a time and see what happens. And boy, I'll tell you what, there were 5 defensive touchdowns in that game. Kickoff return that went 100 yards. I mean, it was a crazy game to be on the sideline. I think it was a crazy game to be in the stands if you're a parent or a supporter. But I think the kids had a lot of fun. They kept fighting, and they could feel the momentum switching and turning, and that was the big difference right there.
Yeah, and talk about, part of one of the stories I'm writing, Coach, is your longevity here and the success that Charter Oak has year after year after year. And, talking to your son Dom and Roger, there's, everyone thinks of John Wooden's pyramid of success. You've you've built that here with the foundation that surrounds you. Can you talk about that? Because I think that's probably the key to everything, is the support group that you have that made this possible year after year.
Well, we like to say we want to train people well enough so that they can leave, but treat them well enough so they don't want to. And we've tried to do that. We've put out young coaches all over, for years and years and years, all over the country. But we still have a lot of kids who aren't kids anymore. They're still here, part of our football family. And I think a lot of kids in this day and age need that feeling of belonging to a family. Society right now has some trouble with raising teenagers, and we're just trying to give them an opportunity to be a part of something that, we're going to be tough on you in places, but we also love you very much, and we care about you, not just while you're here for us, but as a person, and we want to listen to what your needs are. A lot of kids don't have anybody who will listen to them.
Yeah.
And so we work on that quite a bit.
And how about, when you think of Charter Oak, you're in the same area as a Covina, as a North and South Hills. Here you guys are competing in Division III, may even go to Division II next year. What that really speaks to, Coach, is what you guys have been able to do, this sustainability of success year after year after year. It might not be fair when you look at the size of your school or the demographics in this area, but I think it's a credit to what you guys do here.
When it used to be just the league champion went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
That was kind of the way it was when I went to school here back in the 60s. And then they started a switch rate, started taking more teams into the playoffs, first and second, and then third place teams, and teams with 500 records. And then they came up with this, I don't know what algorithm that they have here for, their strength of schedule, equity kind of stuff.
Right.
And how you can put us into a division like that, I don't understand that. You take the last 2 years, and every time you move up a year, you look at the last year and the current year, and strength of schedule and all that kind of stuff. I don't much really understand rankings like that, but I do know one thing: we do as much as we can with what we have.
Yeah.
And that's what I think.
I think you guys have risen to that challenge of where they've put you.
Well, after our 84-85 season, when we won the CF championship and then the mythical state championship at that time in the 2A division, Then all of a sudden, we have this JV football team that went from one division up 6 divisions, and we got killed. We were 0-10. People don't remember that we only had one returning, player from that championship team, and we went to the Sierra League, and Despain and those guys looked at me and laughed and said, "Just, you got to get up and play to this level right now," and it was either retire or rise to the occasion, like you said.
Yeah.
And so we had to figure out a way to compete in that league. And then next thing we know, every time they move us, we have to figure out how to compete at the next level.
Yeah, speaking of retirement, everybody talks about will this or will this not be Coach Big Lou's last year? That always seems to be the $1,000,000 question. And when you look at a season you're having right now where you're undefeated and you're 2 games away from maybe winning what would be your greatest championship of all, to do it in a division like this, at a school like this, would that bring you closer to walking away, or are you still enjoying it too much?
I'm still enjoying it too much, and I have one grandson graduating and his little brother who's coming in as a freshman. And my standing joke with everybody is, if I can go year to year with Vince, and however my health holds out, I want to stay. I don't know anything else. I don't know how to be anything else but a football coach and a teacher. And I enjoy it very much. I sub for my son Dom and his psych classes, and I enjoy getting back in the classroom with the kids and talking with them and being there with them. And I enjoy being on the field with the guys every day. I don't enjoy fundraising and all the bills and putting up with all the hassle from the outside,
right.
But I guess that comes with the territory of being a head coach and running our program.
And that comes back to, you having that opportunity to coach this long has to do with your son and Roger Lehigh and your assistants.
I could not be here without all those guys.
And that gets me back to that pyramid success that you've built that has allowed you to be in this position. And how important are you? I know this is Thanksgiving week. Thankful that you're in a position like this where you can do this probably as long as you want to, with a family type environment around you that makes it work.
People talk about numbers of wins, and I am the worst guy talking about numbers. I don't even remember a score from last week. But Roger Lehigh has every number stuck in his head. My son Dom never writes anything down. I write everything down. And this generation, these guys, they've got, they're way out there in advancement in terms of the grasp of what they need to do to get their job done. Roger, Dom, Steve Smith, our other kid that played with Moose on our '85 team, who's a science teacher here, and JP, the whole varsity staff, Evan, all the guys played for me, except for Roger went to South Hills, and we don't hold that against him. But we love him, and he, we're a very close-knit group of people, and we all live very close to each other, and within walking distance. Except for Roger just moved to a new home, but we're friends year-round, not just during football season, and that's made a difference, I think. I love them. I can't think of them being any different than I talk to them and treat them the same way I do Dom or anybody I'm related to. Good news, bad news with that statement, but yeah, I love them, and you can put their name right next to mine in all those columns of wins. They're, I taught them what I could teach them, and anything I couldn't teach them, I researched for them, or I sent them to coaches. Dom's the Norm Chow clone, and a peak arrow. When I called Norm and just said, "Norm, help this young man," and he was kind enough to do that. And so Dom's and Roger could coach at any level. So could Moose has been up and down at college levels and stuff like that. So our staff is a close group of people who know that there's still time to help kids right now when they really need it, and that's why we're here still.
Well, Coach, thank you for this. I've been around for 20-some years, and you've always been the staple and foundation. And have a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you can do this as long as you want to.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.